I made a video about a month ago about the auto gimbals, and I said it is great they're putting this feature in, but there's going to be a lot of people crying about it because the game is now easy mode. Oh dear. A month later, the crying is continuing. Who is right? Who is wrong? Let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Montoya. Auto gimbals, a new feature coming into the game in 3.5. If you haven't seen it yet, let me show you quickly what it is. And I found a great video on Spectrum here, posted by Digital Donut. So here it is. See, there's a circle in front of you. You place a chip inside of it. You hold the trigger down and boom. Beautiful. So easy. Look at the reactions. 15 thumbs down. And look at the first comment here by Agent 441. All I saw was you didn't work for those kills. The game, and I know this sounds terrible, the game needs to be dumbed down. And you're going to see some comments saying, I don't want the game dumbed down. Listen, and I'll explain why. And if I can take an analogy from a game I played a while ago, a long time ago, called PlanetSide. In PlanetSide 2, you fly in the air in these planes, and there were at least 4 or 5 ace pilots in the game. And I knew when I saw an ace pilot come to my server, my time in the air was limited. I would get shut down immediately. Because these, I don't know if they were using aimbots or just they were that good, but they'd look at you and you'd blow up because some of them were really that good. Once you were shut down, there's a cooldown timer. You have to wait 5 minutes and you get in the plane again. You go up in there for 10 seconds, you get shut down again. At that point, it's no longer fun. It's no longer fun when your airspace is being dominated by ace pilots who are just much, much better than you. And I tried. Oh boy, did I try. 800 hours in PlanetSide, and I think at least 700 hours of that was just in the air trying to become a better pilot. I reached the highest level I could, and at my best, I was simply above average. There's always going to be people who are exceptional. And if you are one of those exceptional people in the game, congratulations. But when you show up in a server and people log out because they just don't want to be in a server with you because you're that good, you've run out of people to shoot at. And this is something which the ace pilots in this game need to consider. You might be good at putting that tiny, tiny pixel on top of that tiny, tiny pixel and shooting and blowing it up, but not everyone is going to be as good. In fact, 99.9% of the backers of the game are not as good as you. This game needs to be dumbed down a lot. And I'll tell you why, and I've seen this. And you can do an experiment yourself. You know, let me find the other thread about this. Here it was. It was a thread posted by Tom Matthews. Now, the argument here is going to continue, and I can tell you in the little experiment that I did myself. And I invited my neighbor in, and he goes, ooh, what's this, a HOTAS? Yeah, I said, you want to try it out? I set him down, I put him in Arena Commander, I said, off you go. And he could not shoot the side of a massive asteroid. It is really tough sitting down and trying to aim and put your tiny, tiny aiming reticle on that dot in the distance and hit it. It's impossible. He tried for 15 minutes, couldn't do it, loved flying around, couldn't hit anything. Got disenfranchised and doesn't want to try the game again. That's it. Can you imagine what's going to happen if Squadron 42 comes out? Everyone's excited. Look at this amazing game, amazing graphics. It's massive. Let's go try this game. And there's a mission. We have to fly out and there's combat. You have to go through some combat in Squadron 42. Imagine what will happen if you go into combat and you can't shoot that ship you have to shoot because it's so hard. You'll get disenfranchised, you put the game down, and you won't bother playing anymore. That is the risk they face here, and this is why they've introduced this. Now, this isn't something they pull out of thin air. This concept works very, very well in Elite Dangerous, and I showed you Elite Dangerous. I said, this is how it works. You put the target in front of you, your gimbals lock on, you pull the trigger, it works. So, of all the people to defend this, Red Squadron. Now, if you don't know Red Squadron, Tazius actually mentioned this thread to me. Thank you, Tazius, also from Red Squadron. Now, Red Squadron is mostly elite pilots, very serious about combat in the game. And if anyone had to be against auto-aiming gimbals, it would be them. But Red Squadron has been around long enough. They've matured as an organization and said, what's best for us versus what's best for the entire game might be different things. And poor Goliath here is defending it, and you know, he's getting slammed left and right. And here's a guy named Lundy saying, with any luck, they'll dumb the game down enough so you can feel better about yourself. How condescending. Because Lundy, you got to understand that Goliath here is a better pilot than you. And if he is saying, yeah, this is good, I would listen to what Goliath said here because he's right. You got to make the game as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. If my neighbor comes in and goes, oh my God, what's that game? Star Citizen, let me try. If he cannot blow things up in the first 30 seconds, he's not coming back. Take that times by 10,000, and that's what's going to happen when this game launches, when Squadron 42 is released. And there's people writing reviews. If the review is, beautiful game, combat near impossible, don't buy, then we're just going to have an empty universe here. We're going to have a beautiful game with landing zones and planets and systems with no one playing it. We need the combat dumbed down a lot, but don't be worried about that because Elite Dangerous, in its years, has found a great balance for that. And that is, if you launch countermeasures, when someone has you targeted, it throws off their targeting. There's so many small things it can do here to make it work. For example, another one is size 1 gimbals. Size 1 gimbals will track much faster than any other size gimbals. Size 2 gimbals, a bit slower. Size 5 gimbals, very slow to track. Now, I'm trying to find the actual, I don't know if everyone's mentioned this, but I lost my place. There was a post here which said there's many things they can do about it. And one of the very, very simple solutions to making the game challenging still for ace pilots is that ace pilots go for fixed weapons. If you have fixed weapons, then you have an advantage. You put out more DPS, easy as that. Some people saying, oh, you know what, small ships now lose their advantage because they can just get auto locked on. No, if you have a small ship, another ship has, say, size 2 or size 3 gimbals on it, those things will track slower. The person still has to do the work, and if you launch countermeasures, I'm pretty sure this is going to come in, but I suspect countermeasures may throw off the auto aiming. Elite Dangerous does it. I'm pretty sure Star Citizen is probably considering it. There are many things you can do. Another complaint was that the auto aiming doesn't allow you to target subsystems. Now listen, on a small ship, at the moment, it is impossible right now, with fixed weapons even, to target subsystems. You can't hit it. But when it comes to a Javelin, or an Idris, or a Hammerhead, or an 890 jump, bless the 890 jump, the 890 jump even, and you're in a small ship, you will be able to target subsystems with the gimbals like this. It will work. But if you're on Aurora, and someone else is in an Aurora, they'll have a very tough time targeting your subsystem. And that's the way it should work. So I know this is a very delicate topic, but listen, dumbing the game down? Yes! Dumb it right down. In fact, the only mistake Star Citizen CIG did here was that this should have been in from the very, very beginning. This should have been in from day one in Arena Commander, because if it was, no one would be crying about it right now. The problem with CIG is they made the game hard mode. They were listening to the hardcore players and said, let's please them first, because if they're happy, then it's good. But what they made the game, remember, they doubled the speeds. Where was it? 2.6.3? I can't remember when they actually doubled all the speeds. That was a tough one. And combat was very, very difficult, but very rewarding for the top tier players. For them to make it auto gimbal now feels like dumbing down, but this is where they should have been years ago. So hang in there, guys. If this is really, really upsetting to you, have faith, because there are a lot of things they can do to still make this very rewarding for the ace pilots. I don't want to get too much in the argument itself, but the bottom line is this is better for the game as a whole. The game needs to be more accessible. Always happy to hear comments below. If you enjoy this content, thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.